All right, today we're diving into a huge shift happening in education, the rise of the AI-powered teacher. We're going to unpack how AI is changing the game, taking the teacher's role from that classic sage on the stage to something new, a guide on the side. Let's jump in.
Kicks off with this really fundamental problem. For, centuries, the classroom has worked one way, right? The teacher talks, the students listen. But that model, it was designed for a totally different world and for a totally different type of student. So we have to ask ourselves, are our classrooms today actually built for the students of yesterday? Think about today's learners. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're digital natives. They don't just use tech, they kind of think in its language. They're visual, they're interactive, and they're used to getting feedback instantly. They learn from short, snappy videos, not just from 100-page textbooks. A one-way lecture just doesn't stand a chance.
So what's the fix? Well, it's definitely not about replacing teachers with robots. No way. It's about completely reframing AI as the teacher's new, incredibly powerful partner. Think of it less like automation and more like augmentation, a tool that frees teachers up to do what they do best: inspire, mentor, and really connect with their students.
This quote right here, it gets right to the heart of it all. This is the mission statement. The goal isn't to just hand the classroom over to an algorithm. It's to give teachers superpowers, basically, to amplify their ability to reach every single student. Tech can deliver information, sure, but only a teacher can inspire real transformation.
And the shift is, well, it's profound. In the traditional role, a teacher's day is just swallowed by delivering lectures and grading by hand. But in the AI era, their role gets elevated. They become designers of learning experiences, using AI for instant feedback to really get what students need. And maybe the most important thing, they go from just teaching content to teaching kids how to learn with AI, which is an absolutely critical skill for the future.
Okay, so how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's get practical and look at lesson planning. For any teacher out there, this is a marathon. It can take hours and hours. AI totally transforms this. It takes it from being a total time sink and turns it into a fun, creative collaboration. So how's it work? Well, it's a pretty simple 5-step process. You start by defining your goal. You can even ask the AI to help you sharpen your learning objectives. Then you co-create the content, asking for cool analogies that will actually click with your students. From there, you can brainstorm activities, whip up some quizzes, and finally, personalize the whole thing for different learners. It's a real partnership. And here's what that can actually look like. A simple, clear prompt like this one can spit out a complete draft of a lesson plan in seconds. It might suggest an intro, a main activity, maybe even an assessment. The teacher's job is no longer to build something from a blank page. Instead, they become the expert curator, the refiner, the one who adds that essential human touch.
Now, the second huge area where things are changing is feedback. For ages, assessment has been about grading a final project, often days or even weeks after the student did the work. AI completely flips this on its head. It turns feedback from a final judgment into an ongoing, personalized conversation about growth. Let's be honest, manual feedback is slow and a lot of times pretty generic. But with an AI partner, that feedback can be instant, and it's personalized for each student, pointing out exactly where they can improve and even suggesting resources. The whole focus shifts from just that single grade on the final thing to a continuous look at the learning process itself, and that's the real game changer. It's all about nurturing growth, not just measuring output. So if we zoom out, the big picture here isn't some battle of humans versus machines. The future of the classroom is a hybrid. It's a partnership that combines the unique strengths of both the teacher and the AI to create something way more powerful than either could ever be on their own.
Think about it. AI is incredible at speed, data analysis, generating content. But what does it lack? The human stuff. Empathy, wisdom, moral judgment. It can't inspire a kid who's having a bad day or spark that flash of real creativity. So when you combine the AI's analytical power with the teacher's emotional intelligence, that's when you get a truly personalized, human-centered education. And that really leads us to our final and most critical takeaway. This whole thing isn't a race to see if teachers can keep up with technology. The real mission here is to make sure that as we use these powerful new tools, we never ever lose sight of what matters most, our humanity. The question isn't if we should use AI in the classroom, but how.
how we can use it to create a more inspiring, more equitable, and more deeply human education for everyone.
Getcha.
AI will not replace teachers, but teachers who use AI will replace those who don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really quite direct.
It is. It's about adapting, not necessarily mastering the tech itself. It's an urgent call, really.